another one. With the market shifting how it is looking once they raised those interest rates, and it knocked out a lot of people from being able to buy, one, two, being able to buy as much as they wanted to buy, and then three, some people are like, now what I have to pay for what I want is, and I'm not willing to do that. You know, it's just, it changed their total financial picture. They just don't want to do that. So it's changed the landscape of the market. So what I'm seeing is it's not as competitive. Granted, it's still competitive because I've spoken to some agents and they're still getting multiple offers. They're still getting over asking. So it just depends on the area, the house, the condition of the property, all of that. So case by case, all right? But this is also a PSA to sellers. Sellers, you have to come back down to normalcy, right? Because what we also are seeing are some price reductions. Because you guys are listening. Let's just list. Forget what the comps say. Let's just list. And it's sitting. All right, so I am back. I'm in a different location. I'm back at the office. And before I continue on with my day, because right now it's 1:36 p.m., so it's still early, a lot of the workday left. Before I get running with everything else that I have to do, I want to take time not only to record this video while it's fresh, but to just sit in this space of gratitude, to feel the feels of how everything played out today, to be so thankful for an easy button today. And what do I mean by an easy button? Just everything went so smoothly today. And I'm so appreciative, because there are days and times and instances in real estate where it feels like you're just putting out fires. Like there's things that are just not going right, or you're problem solving so much. It's just a lot of problem solving. Okay, this happened, so all right, what's the solution? We're finding solutions for so much that when just things just fall into place so well, like I just have to sit into that. Like, thank you. Because there are so many days I'm like, can I just get an easy button? Can I just get an easy button today? And today I got an easy button and I'm just like, thank you. So what I wanted to bring to you in this video, I know I think I started sharing a little bit earlier when I was recording. I thought I was gonna go inside the house while I was waiting for the buyers to come, but then the seller had a cleaner that was there. She was still there, so I didn't get to do that. So I did go inside the house, set up the buyer's closing gift, and come to find out the seller left the buyer something there as well. Man, the seller was just stellar guy. So what I wanted to share with you in this video, the agent, let me go back. The agent was also awesome. And I wasn't sure I was going to be able to share pictures with the buyers. Didn't know if they were going to want me to do that, because I do have some clients that want to remain private. But they said I can go ahead and share. So I'm going to go ahead now and insert pictures of the buyers and also the agent, the seller's agent and the seller. It was just all love. It was just all love. And now I'm really gonna get into the video. So at closing, the agent mentioned that the seller really wanted to sell to a family. I've mentioned it in other videos, like, sellers, to each his own. Whoever you want to sell to, that is totally your prerogative. But I am hearing sellers say that, and they want to be intentional with that, because they see how investors are coming in and buying up homes and making it harder for the traditional buyer, first-time home buyer, even second-time home buyer, making the market so much more competitive and harder for those buyers. That some sellers are like, no, I want my home to go to a person. I don't want my home to just turn around and be an investment property, or turn around and be rented out. And guys, I have an investment property and I plan on acquiring more investment properties. So I get the investment side as well, but I also have a heart for buyers as well. I was there as a first-time home buyer myself. I've worked with home buyers, first-time home buyers, and I see what they go through to save and to be able to buy their first home. So I have a heart for them too as well. All right, the next huge thing that the agent shared, which made it all make sense and come together. She said that the seller, and this is all at the table, so the sellers are there. She said that the seller, he didn't want to give his house away. Like, he still wanted to get, top dollar for his house, but he also understood that he was gonna have to do some work because he didn't do anything while he owned it. Thank you, seller. Thank you, seller.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, seller. Because this seller, like, even throughout the process, we said many times, like, this is a good seller. Coming into it, like, he was already doing things in the house. Like, he was taking care of things. And it wasn't cheap things. Like, he was taking care of things that he probably knew he needed to do anyway and had just been putting off. But he was going to go ahead and take care of it to hand this home over to somebody else. Why did I hit home for us? Well, I'm going to talk about me first. This is what I do full time. At the time of this recording, this is my 11th year in the business. In the last 2 years, the market has been really, really crazy. Sellers have been really, y'all been spoiled. Y'all have been spoiled, getting top dollar, not wanting or having to do much. Yeah, that has been what it is. And we want to talk about that because that's shifting a little. That's shifting. So I don't have to come back to normalcy. But that's what we have been seeing. So sellers have gotten in the mindset where I want top dollar. I don't want to make any repairs. I don't want to give any credits. I don't want to help with closing costs. I don't want to do anything, but I want all the money. That's what we have been seeing. So to get a seller, and I've seen sellers from time to time that are like this, and they have the mindset that is, I want to give a person a home that I would want to buy. And shout out to the Fonvilles, because I first heard them say this. And I'm like, that is a really stand-up attitude to have. If you're not that type of seller, no shot to you, but I'm just gonna say, I think it's a great mentality to have, that you want to give somebody a house that you would be willing to buy. And this was exactly that type of seller, and the effort that he put into this home. Like I said, the cleaner was still at the home. Man, you lucky if you have a seller that wants to sweep and vacuum. This man had a cleaner come in. Matter of fact, I had another seller like this, the Washingtons. Shout out to the Washingtons, because she's like, yeah, once we're out, I got to go through and clean this house. So I guess everybody's just different, right? So buyers just knowing in the market, sellers are different. How they're going to leave the home is different. Your agent should be putting, things in the contract to, at least say, hey, so make sure all your stuff is out of the house. That was another thing. There were some items that the seller intended to leave, but the buyers didn't want. Seller made sure that those things were out of the home. Like, I have had sellers leave stuff that they didn't want. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, he was just a really, really stand-up seller. Now, I said that was from my perspective. I'm also share from working with these buyers. This was not the first home that they had under contract, but things work out how they're supposed to work out, and thank God for it, because the previous home that they had under contract, we love that home. I love that home. I saw them in that home, but this seller had the stance that I talked about. Wanted top dollar, didn't want to do anything, even with an inspection report that showed you have significant things. I'm not talking about seller change a doorknob, caulk around a toilet. I'm not talking about minor cosmetic things, because these buyers also were very realistic. They weren't asking for petty, small, insignificant things that they could just go to Home Depot and fix on a weekend, low cost, okay? We were talking about significant things. And this seller was just like, no, they weren't willing to budge much. And why I have to share this is because the seller would not budge much. And their agent was basically like, he'll probably just fix like one of these things and relist, and he may relist for more. And I'm like, okay. But the buyers still were like, no, we're good. We'll move on. Note there, some buyers might have been like, this market's so competitive. Let's just go ahead and accept it. They didn't do that. Moved on, found this house where everything came together and worked out so well. I pulled up that other house just out of curiosity. What happened to that house? Because like I said, I like that house. That house is still on the market.
That's what you get.
Big mistake.
That house is still on the market and at the same price that they had it at before. I am pretty sure I would bet bread. I would bet bread, aka I would bet money that seller is now kicking himself for not working it out with my buyers. There's a saying, a bird in the hand is worth more than two in a bush. And if I messed it up, you guys know what I mean. I have learned you want to work with the deal and the variables that you know that are on the table instead of taking the approach like, no, we'll just move on to the next one. In this competitive market that we were in, we are coming out of, agents and sellers, you could have kind of bet on that. If you had 20 offers, you could say, we had so many offers, we have backup offers. You could take that approach. We're sure we're going to get another one. With the market shifting how it is looking once they raise those interest rates, and it knocked out a lot of people from being able to buy, one, two, being able to buy as much as they wanted to buy, and then three, some people are like, now what I have to pay for what I want and I'm not willing to do that. It's just, it changed their total financial picture. They just don't want to do that. So it's changed the landscape of the market. So what I'm seeing is it's not as competitive. Granted, it's still competitive because I've spoken to some agents and they're still getting multiple offers. They're still getting over asking. So it just depends on the area, the house, the condition of the property, all of that. So case by case, all right? But this is also a PSA to sellers. Sellers, you have to come back down to normalcy, right? Because what we also are seeing are some price reductions because you guys are listing. Let's just list. Forget what the comps say. Let's just list. And it's sitting. So like I said, the seller that wanted to play hardball, his house is still on the market. One, he was unreasonable with the condition of his house. But two, now that the market, maybe in his area is not, it's looking like how it's looking, might need to do a price reduction. So yeah, those are essentially the nuggets that I have to share for you. Let me see if there's any others that I wrote down as notes. The other thing that I wanted to share with you. Yes, there is something else I wanted to share with you. So you may be thinking, I know my house needs work. I still want top dollar, but I want to do the work myself. I'll just give them a credit. It just depends on the buyer. It's a negotiation at that point. Is the buyer going to be willing to do the work? And it depends on the type of work. It's a negotiation at that point. I'm going to tell you, if it's something significant, go ahead and take care of it. Go ahead and take care of it. Most buyers don't want to have to move into a house. They already have all that they have going on to now move into a house and take care of major work. So if you know there are significant things that need to be done, go ahead and take care of it. If you know moving is on the horizon, go ahead and start taking care of those things now, right? And that is why I stress home maintenance so much. Annual maintenance, spring to-dos, those kind of videos that I make, because as homeowners, a lot of people that watch my videos are first-time home buyers. So you bought this home, now what? Like, who's telling you what to do now that you're in the home? How do you keep up this home? So that when you call me in 5, 7, 10 years, and you're like, Nat, I'm ready to sell my home. And I look at you and I say, okay, have you updated any systems? I'm asking you these questions for you to get top dollar. I want you to be able to say yes, because every year or every couple of years, I've been upkeeping this house so that I know I'm able to get top dollar and it still is looking like new. And I'm gonna be like, yes, good job. So I want us to have those conversations and I want you to protect your investment. And lastly, I've said this in other videos, sellers, when you are doing the work, get it done by a professional. They were very good in having receipts, pictures, invoices, all of that. They were able to furnish that stuff, no problem. So yeah, don't think that you're just gonna put a Band-Aid on it and just make it go away. If the buyers give you a quote that they got during their due diligence period, their inspection period, and the quote, let's say, is $1,000, don't go find a friend that says, I can do that for $100. There has to be by a professional. It has to be the same quality of work. So keep that in mind. So any questions, leave them down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for liking this video. Please give this video a thumbs up. It is free and it helps me, okay? If you are thinking about selling your home, check out my website for sellers, sellingwithnat.com. On there, you can see my stats, you can see examples of my marketing, and you can also schedule with me on my Calendly. Just go ahead and give me a call, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and sign out here. Have a positive, peaceful, and productive day. Bye. Positive, peaceful, and productive day. Bye. Ow. It is so hot. When the buyers pulled up and I was walking up, they were like, why is it every time we see you, you look like you're walking on a runway? And I'm like, who, me? Like me? I don't consider myself to be one of the fancier agents, but I receive your compliment. I really do. But when I tell you guys it is so hot, what degree is it? It's only, oh, it's 90. It's 90. Oh, guys, it's hot. All right, let's get back to this filming.